Exactly.
It's very fragile.
I tell you, I'm now much more focused on studying English, pronunciation. I started again from yesterday.
Okay.
I pay money, okay? How to pronounce English. And English, for Japanese people, we need to study English and IT. This is next 10 years threat for us, right? English is globalization. IT is IT revolution. Two things is coming, big surge into Japan, right? So we need to do something. Otherwise, lots of like immigration. Japan cannot protect immigration from Asia, developing countries, and Africa. Those people anyway coming to Japan. Currently coming. Even if government try to protect them, but no way they are coming, because they got better money, and the government cannot control those people, get them out. They cannot, right? So,
but it's still very limited, yeah? Because like also you need to.
No, every supermarket, Vietnamese is working.
Okay, but those
But
are
how come
temporary.
those people working?
That's because the Japanese government made like these kind of like working holiday visas available to.
No, I don't think so. They work in more than 1 year.
That I don't know whether it's more
More
than.
than, I know them 2 years, 3 years. I'm going there 3 years.
Yeah.
Vietnamese working 3 years.
Okay. I don't know.
I don't know, but why they are come? I don't ask them, but there are many places no Chinese. But Chinese, I don't know where they are going to. But the Chinese should be here. They are doing another things, right? Their life level getting better, so that they don't work.
Yeah, if they don't get a good job here, why would they stay here? They can go back to China and get better life than they have here in Japan.
Oh yeah, that means you're right. So this sort of things is happening. So Europe is immigration big issues. America also immigration the same. This is globalism.
So, but why is it a big issue? Because people don't feel like.
I have a question for you. If they're going to stop immigrant, okay, but it's useless.
To stop immigrants.
The immigrant will come into United States anyway.
Right. I don't think like a wall.
They cannot stop it.
No.
What does that mean? Illegal immigrant?
Immigration.
Immigrant. For example, I know that California, Texas, Florida.
But you know the problem with illegal immigration, with the problem with illegal anything, you cannot regulate it. You cannot control it. Yeah, because people they don't have money for they don't have insurance. They don't have unemployment benefits. So they need to survive. So what happens if you make these things illegal is that you take them out of the system. Then, and if they still need to survive, so if they get in trouble, they will need to make sure that they get money. They need to, because the first thing that they are going to do is to protect themselves and their families. That means that they are very easy to fall into crime patterns and things like that, because it's necessary for survival. So making things illegal has a very adverse effect. We know this very well in the Netherlands because we had this problem with drugs, rampant growth in hard drugs in the Netherlands, which led to a lot of crime. When we start to legalize things, when we start to bring it, and the same for prostitution, by the way. When we started to legalize this, all of a sudden we were able to control it, and actually were able to support people. And the problems that we have are so much lower. So it is instinctively right to say, make it illegal because we don't want these people here. So basically, kick them out. It's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to make them worse.
Especially in the United States, Central America's people, Guatemala, El Salvador, those people, the condition is the same as illegal. No insurance, no money, no house.
Did you hear what the president of Guatemala said?
No, what he said?
So the president of Guatemala, when he was asked about, there were people. There was a young father with his daughter
Guatemala.
who tried to cross the border with Mexico and the United States, and there's this big river, I think the Rio Grande or something like that.
Rio Grande.
Yeah, they tried to cross the river, and actually they didn't make it to the other side. And there was a photo of the father with his daughter, and they both died.
I don't know.
Became a big scandal. Like, okay, this is what the United States is doing. Became a big scandal when the president of Guatemala was asked about it. But this is okay, sure. I mean, this is one of the reasons is because Trump is not admitting our people into the United States. But the real problem is Guatemala, because we cannot provide a country where people are safe, where people have a future. It's our problem. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
True.
Well, I thought that was very, very profound and very, very true, actually.
But tell you about that consider for past 200 years. Who invaded? Who take resources?
Yeah.
out
If
from Guatemala?
we look further down, then the United States.
Who did do that? And
United States is completely manipulating
very recently, America, just doing, like a plantation, everything else, take resources from Guatemala.
Yep.
And
The CIA has been destabilizing the entire region. Because they wanted to create instability, so that the Russians would not get in there.
Guatemalan people try to make an effort, but undeveloped countries, they needed help, support. And even if like Russia or China want to support, but America try not to do that. But America will go into, they give them money, but they don't do it so much, okay? So if you're going to take responsibility, you should take responsibility, this country. But America owes lots of debt to Guatemala in the past 200 years, so they should take some responsibility. But they don't do that.
No.
Of course, they give money, but not sufficient. So they need to, who's going to support for this Guatemala? So Russia want that, China wanted to do that, but America don't want to do that. And Japan, they don't know. So I think Guatemala people, president, we try to do it, but no money. Like consider for 40 years ago in China didn't have money. They can't do anything at all. They could export to the United States. That they cause growth, right? So they need some investment from developed country and support them. But America, they didn't support them. Only plantation, and they got the resources to take it back to the States, that's all. So, and no infrastructures, they didn't develop anything at all, so nothing at all. So we should do that, right? Probably Japan can support them, but Japanese, they don't know. And they decide to investment 300 million US dollars to Africa, but also Central Africa, America, we can do for them. But nobody knows.
But what you're saying is absolutely true. Is that the only way that you can keep people out of your country is by improving the situations in the home country of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, if we keep interfering in the Middle East, if we keep interfering in Africa, if we are just taking out the resources and impoverishing the people in Africa, they will come to us because they have much better opportunities. So the only way that you can do it is not through a wall, but by actually making sure that you share part of your wealth with the rest of the world, so that everybody can have a good opportunity to live a decent life.
Yeah, America will close the border. Okay, instead if they're going to consider Guatemala, Guatemalan people, what kind of support they can make for them instead of immigration. And without that, who's going to help them?
Right.
They themselves, they cannot be independent. Because the past 30 years, 40 years, they do not have any infrastructure. They don't have industry, right? So we need to consider for them. Nobody wants to make investment for this country. Only plantation, just only plantation. They make something. Every product is brought back to the States, right? So this sort of things America did past 200 years. So they need to reconsider what kind of help they try to give them opportunity and give them training. Like China gives them agriculture training center in Africa, and those sort of things. We do something for Central America, Guatemala, El Salvador, San Salvador, all those countries, no infrastructure, nothing else, nothing. That's the reason they want to moving the people to the States. They understand America invaded, so they expect something better life in the States. And America is also California and Texas and Florida. Those countries are originally territory of Mexico.
Yeah.
So they speak Spanish, right? So whenever they're going to get to territory, they are safe. American government cannot control them because many people can only speak Spanish, not English. So San Diego, if you go into the restaurant, they speak Spanish. So this is, I think, they are very easy. Many families living there. So this is even if Trump tried to close border, but this is useless. If Trump doing some kind of, instead of doing that, he want to close border, but instead they need to consider for the people in Central America people and how to save them. He never thinking about that, right?
No.
So this is a problem.
But this is actually the same. For example, if you really want to make an impact on the environment, the global environment, you can try to invest in better filters on your factories and things like that. But the reality is that if you are going to invest $1 million, you can invest it in your own industry, but it's probably more prudent to invest it in China. Put better facilities in place over there, because it will have much more impact on your environmental situation in Japan than by adding more filters to your own industry. So it's the same with immigration. You can build a high wall, but it's probably better to help the other side, the outside of Japan, to develop, and that will create opportunities that will prevent people from coming to Japan.
I don't understand what you mean. What prevent them coming? What do you mean?
I mean that it's just like this is a transnational problem. So another transnational problem is pollution. Very often, like for example, you can invest as a country. You can invest a lot to prevent pollution, but very often, in many cases, it's prudent. For example, if you have pollution coming in through the river, to support a country that is upstream from your country, than by trying to keep everything clean in your own country. It's the same thing when it comes to poverty, when it comes to people who want to come into your country. You need to support them upstream instead of trying to regulate everything downstream. That is basically the way to do it. However, if you do that, there will be people in your country who will say, but wait a minute, you're sending money to Guatemala? Are you kidding me? I don't have a job. Why are you not supporting me? So politicians like Trump, they hear that message, and a lot of people, they have that problem. They see that we are working with the Mexicans and we're creating employment there, but we don't have employment in the United States. Why are you supporting people in other countries instead of supporting us? We are the ones who are hurting. Therefore, a message like, okay, let's build a wall and keep all the money inside and bring all the industries back.
Yeah, politicians is like that.
Right.
They want to be elected.
Right.
But actually, American white labor, why they lost their job? The reason is why, their salary is very high.
It's very high.
So now you need to go down their level of life. Otherwise, we can provide based upon your skill.
But we can say that the salary is high, but the salary is high compared to workers in Mexico, workers in low-wage countries. But it's not that high compared to the owners of the factories in especially in the United States. The people who own the companies, who are the captains of industry, who are the founders of IT companies.
This is
they have huge salaries. They say, "What?
This
Are
is
you kidding me?"
Unfair income distribution.
Yeah.
This is the other issue. But actually, they are compared white, blue collar and Guatemala labor. But this is not fair. Okay, and America have debt for Guatemala in the past history. So America do something for Guatemala, but also they need to consider low-skilled worker in the States. Two people is completely different issues. And as you know, actually the current income distribution, we consider redistribution somehow. Otherwise, this is not fair.
Right.
But this is like tax issues and basic income issues might be.
Perfect. Now we're coming full stop to my presentation.
And the other issue is also America need to support, instead of making, okay, if you're going to make a wall, you need to consider for developing countries which you take responsibility, right? So Central America is America need to consider to support them,
Right. Yep.
So,
But they also need to support their own people. So
this is
they
like
need money.
I have message for that. Central America is maybe American major company like food companies, okay, like the big plantation there. This is, I think, not illegal, but kind of invaded, in history. So kind of tax system, or they kind of system to consider. Okay, if you're going to do plantation, and they got this real estate very cheap price in the past 100 years ago, and they don't pay tax for this country. So I think Guatemala need to reconsider tax system, and American government needs to support them. Right. So this kind of.
But the problem there is that the world is an open field, right? Especially financially speaking, it doesn't really matter where you are.
No, this is a big problem is American government. This kind of plantation is big rich company in the States.
Yep.
They cannot change the tax system in Guatemala, current government organization. This is the issue.
But even the Guatemalan authorities cannot change the tax system, because if they change it, all the multinational companies will go from Guatemala to Honduras, where they have a better tax, a more friendly tax climate, and they will move their headquarters over there. Then all the money will not flow through Guatemala. It will flow through Honduras, where they have to pay less taxes.
Okay, this is